global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello, good people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Rotimi Ameachi has been on the spotlight for some hours, or let me say for a while now, because he's fully involved in the coalition and all of that. But interestingly, he was dragged out some hours ago by Wiki during his monthly media chat, lambasted left, right, center, talked down upon, and right now he had also opened up on some of the things that we did not know. Don't forget that as at today, Dr. Abati, if you check out, you're going to see all of those details. Dr. Abati came out to also lambast Wiki over the fact that he talked down on his former boss, that's the person of Rotimi Ameachi, and he made some very strong statement about it and warned Bola to be aware, to be careful of nyesom Wiki, considering the way he's talking down on his former bosses. And interestingly, Amechi has opened up on a lot of things and has made some things very clear to Nigerians. Let me allow you to watch the moments where he talked about himself, his achievement, and why he will not respond to so many things coming from the person of nyesom Wiki. We'll be back.
It's not because I'm the best. I had the opportunity, I utilized the opportunity. So when the opportunity came for me to be the Speaker of the Parliament, Dr. Odili and I spoke. He felt it was important I became the Speaker. Okay, I utilized the opportunity and I became the Speaker. The problem is not when you get the opportunity. The problem is what do you do with the opportunity? And God knows that I was one of the best speakers that this country had produced at that material time. I don't know what's happening now. Maybe there are better speakers than I was. But at that time, nobody would deny me the fact that I performed my duty as Speaker, that I was elected to become the chairman of the Speakers Forum. Since I left as chairman of Speakers Forum, I wonder if that Speakers Forum is still in existence. Okay, so again, I became governor by the grace of God, by the grace of Dr. Peter Odili too, and the people of Nigeria, Rivers State, and the judiciary, because it was at the end of the day, the judiciary pronounced me governor. Now, when I was then sworn to the office of the governor, you will ask the question, did you perform? Of course I did.
Well, you would say you performed, wouldn't you? I mean, you're not going to say you didn't perform. I mean, nobody would say
I'm prepared to ask you to open your phone and call people from River State. People are building flyovers here and making noise. I built 5, 6 flyovers, 6. I built, they are there. And I didn't make noise. I didn't call president to come and commission. I didn't make noise. I built primary schools. Let any other governor who has built primary schools come forward in River State. I built secondary schools that people were calling universities. Two children per room. Two children per room in those schools. And I got an agency in India to come and manage those schools. So they brought science teachers from India and arts teachers from Nigeria.
And what's happened to them now?
Abandoned. Vandalized.
That must break your heart.
No, that's why I don't go to River State, because it gives you mental disorder. Now, within that period, we tried to build a new city. We had finished with 24-hour power supply. It was abandoned and vandalized. So I'm not one that, you see, don't give me an assignment, I will deliver. Okay, let's go to ministerial appointment. I began and completed the railway from Lagos to Ibadan. I began and completed the Lekki Deep Sea Port. Completed from beginning. And got it completed by the time I left office. Go to Kano. That's an inland dry port in Kano that I completed. And I told the owner of the inland dry port, you must build a primary and secondary school here to enable these children that run after us when we come, go to school free of charge. And he did that. I commenced the construction of Kano-Kaduna. I completed Kaduna to Abuja, which was started by President Goodluck Jonathan. I started the Kano-Maradi railway, and it's going on. So don't give me an assignment, because I will discharge it responsibly. I won't go about abusing people, talking. Maturity. Let me tell you what my second son tells me. We usually have conversations as a family. If you do something that, because currently the current politicians are not ashamed. They don't at all. They don't bother by their name. They don't bother by their character. Now, if you do anything that is wrong, no, my second son will tell me, Dad, you're not the only Amechi, I am too. So if you do something that rubs off on the name Amechi, then it affects all of us.
Absolutely.
But if you do something against your Rotimi, I don't mind that. But unfortunately, you are not just Rotimi, you are Rotimi Amechi, and there are so many of us who bear the name Amechi.
That's a very, you got a wise kid.
Oh, not just him. So for that reason, every member of my family is taught how to behave so that I don't mess up the name Amechi.
And of course, you are preeminent.
Most people don't care about their name, they don't care about their character. I wonder whether they don't think their children should be ashamed.
All right, welcome back. That was Rotimi Ameachi speaking about what he had done thus far. He made some other very strong statement, and it points to one thing that he doesn't really want to join issues with nyesom, Wiki, and all of that. But be that as it may, it's important for us to note some of the things he have made mention of, one of which the issue of, in his infrastructural achievement in Rivers State across Nigeria when he was Minister of Transportation, and the fact that he did not, we have to be clear about this, because I think that is the pivotal point of this whole brouhaha between him and nyesom Wiki. The fact that despite all his achievement, he has not talked down on people. Now, we have to be clear about something. In politics, based on what I have seen thus far, if you claim betrayal, people have betrayed you. If you look steadily into the whole show, you also realize at one point or the other, to maintain interest, you have also, in one way or the other, betrayed people, and that's the truth of the matter. We saw how. Oftentimes, when they give me an opportunity, especially during the launching of a book written by Lamidi, he talked about the fact that they were together and they fought against Jonathan's government. He spelled out some of the things he did against Jonathan and all of that. Now, that's to own up to his own betrayal. Yeah, Jonathan was my brother, but then to some extent, because we're trying to, follow, we're trying to, achieve something, we're trying to consolidate on our political interests, I had to go as far as betraying him. Betrayal is normal, but always making those people your permanent enemies and every day talking about them, making it look as though you are perfect, is one of the things that have made Nigerians to really castigate the attitude of nyesom Wiki. Nyesom Wiki must have been betrayed by a lot of people. But we have to be clear on one thing. No one can claim that he was the one that climbed the ladder and he was also the ladder himself. Not even one person can claim that. I mean, at the point, we saw what Rotimi Ameachi said, talking about the issue of nyesom Wiki making himself a governor and all of, which is not true. We know how much the likes of Jonathan, that's Dr. Patient Jonathan now, what she did. We saw what Jonathan himself did to make Wiki who he is today. But you don't even give an iota of respect or iota of appreciation to these people. And it's making a lot of people to go gaga and say, what's going on? And unfortunately, people who are aligning with his ideology feel that what he's saying is actually true. But that is not true. We must be clear about it. I believe someday we'll also see someone wake up and talk about the fact that he was the one that made Bola Tinubu the president of Nigeria. He was also the one that ended up making the choice of way to save and how he had helped this and helped. Come on, we have to be clear about one thing, and that thing is you cannot exist in isolation. As an individual, it's not possible. Somehow you must have many ways with people, you must have trample on people and all of them. Imagine today we're talking about the issue of People Democratic Party. And come on, someone who had for a good reasonable number of time had been able to enjoy the platform of a political party today is talking down on it and saying he was the one that even made the party popular and all of that. Bros, when did you emerge? 2015. That was when you became a governor. Nobody heard of you across South. From 1999 to the time you became a governor. No iota of person heard about you. Your fame and everything in politics was only during that short period you were a governor. Come on, let's make other people feel as though they have achieved much. Don't make it look as if a whole political party was robbed. Now, look at how, People Democratic Party is overly being rubbish. There's need for clarification. There's need for us to understand that we cannot exist in isolation. People made you who you are. You also help other people, but you were not the one that built Nigeria. Because after a while, you act as though you were the one that created Nigeria. I made Nigeria popular and all. Come on, we need to be clear on this thing. I'm not against nyesom Wiki. I'm not against his the way he talks and all, but there are certain things that are outrightly wrong. Imagine, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, one minister always holding a Monday media chat across board 2 hours. Do you know how much is spent on that privately? Call some very key, media houses to be there, and tomorrow if someone start reacting against it, you're like, hey, they're hitting me, they're hitting on me. Come on, these things we need to be clear on it. However, let's be in our conversation and talk more on this. What's the standpoint on some of the things that Rotimi Ameachi has outlined? Do you think that this is a hit back on nyesom Wike? And let's interact.